حركاتهم وهمومهم وعزومهم لله لا للخلق والشيطان. نعم الرفيق لطالب السبل التي تفضي إلى الخيرات والإحسان. تفضي إلى الخيرات والإحسان.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين. فاللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا ولمشايخنا ولجميع المسلمين أجمعين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. It's another beautiful year in the Islamic calendar. It's the month of Ramadan, brothers and sisters, a month wherein we are alive and you are alive watching and listening, which means Allah Azza wa Jal has bestowed His mercy over you once again, an opportunity for us to cleanse our heart, to cleanse our soul, to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. And we'll cover, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, some aspects regarding fiqh of as-siyam. So we know, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, that as-siyam lughatan means al-imsak, to withhold. Okay, that's what it means, lughatan. As for istilahan, then that which we understand of what is fasting, what is siyam from the Islamic perspective, then it is referred to as that which the ulama has referred to. Then it is that one should be able to withhold and to stay away from and abstain from eating and drinking and any other aspect that breaks the fast from طلوع الفجر, from the time of Fajr, the adhan of Fajr, إلى غروب الشمس, until it is sunset. Al-imsak bin-niyya. So one should try their best, and this should have happened the night before Ramadan, i.e. you make the intention that you're fasting Ramadan. It's not like any other fasting, okay? From all types of drink and food and anything that breaks the fast. And this happens from, as we've mentioned, it starts at the time of the adhan of Fajr. At the time of the adhan of Fajr. Fajr al-Thani, not the awwal, as many Muslim lands have it, where the adhan the adhan of Fajr happens twice. The adhan of Fajr al-Kadhib and the adhan of Fajr al-Sadiq. But we're talking about the actual adhan when Fajr enters. So you stop eating and drinking from that moment. When you hear the adhan, or if you're in a land in the west where you can't hear the adhan, when you know that the adhan has come in. And then you carry on this, meaning not eating or drinking or any aspect of that which may break the fast, when the time of Maghrib comes in, when you hear the adhan. When you hear the adhan. And this is what fasting is. As for the types of that which breaks the fast, then they are from food, drink, having sexual relations, and this is authentic, as that we will cover inshallah in the hadith muttafaqun alayh. Min shakhsin makhsus. Okay, it's mentioned here min shakhsin makhsus. It has to be from a specific person. Who is this person? Who is fast? Or who is the people or the category that which fasting is mandatory upon them? Number one, they have to be Muslim. They have to be Muslim, brothers and sisters. So if someone is not Muslim, then fasting is not an obligation upon them. They have to be also have reached the age of puberty. Okay, so the one that fasts below the age of, when they're young, then they will get rewarded, i.e. their parents will get rewarded. But it's not wajib, it's not mandatory upon them. But of course you should encourage your children to fast. And of course the one that is not old, and we'll get into these inshallah later on. بإذن الله تعالى. Now, as for what the benefits of fasting, what are the benefits of fasting? Then from the benefits of fasting, and first of all we should know that of course it's an obligation. What's the proof that it's an obligation? قال الله تعالى في محكم تنزيله يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. O you who believe, we have made fasting an obligation upon you as we've made it an obligation and we've prescribed it upon the nations that came before you, so that you may obtain piety. So this is from the proof. And of course, another proof from the hadith, بُنِيَ الْإِسْلَامُ عَلَى خَمْسٍ, that Islam is built upon 5 pillars, and from them as-sawm, from them is fasting. From them is fasting. As for the benefits, then we know that it will enable a person to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal and obtain piety, as that is from the proof that we've taken from the ayah. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Another thing is that it is a means of worship, i.e. when you worship Allah Azza wa Jal, you're getting closer to Him, so you'll be rewarded. Another benefit is that you're fighting your inner soul. You're fighting your inner soul, which means you have to be patient upon certain things that you may face within that period of time when you're fasting. Another benefit is that it also helps you preserve your body. So physically it's good for you from the fitness angle as well, from the health angle. As thus we know that many people it's become a trend where they observe this fasting. So physically it's good for you. Mentally as well, it helps you. Spiritually it's good for you. Why? Because you're getting closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. And also you should know that Allah Azza wa Jal rewards those that fast, as is authentic narration, which means فَإِنَّهُ لِي وَأَنَا أَجْزِي بِهِ. Yani meaning fasting is the action that Allah Azza wa Jal has not specified actual reward. From the acts of worship that Allah hasn't specified the actual reward. So therefore we know that Allah Azza wa Jal will reward it. And it is something heavy in the eyes of Allah Azza wa Jal. As for fasting, then we know that when the month of Ramadan comes, so you should know, as is mentioned here in authentic narration, وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تقدموا رمضان بصوم يوم ولا يومين إلا رجل كان يصوم صوما فليصومه متفق عليه. يعني meaning a person should not fast 2 days or couple of days before Ramadan enters. Like specifically yawm or yawmain, يعني 1 day or 2 days. Except for a person that used to fast, but we know that is preferred for one to leave off these 2 days before Ramadan has entered. So therefore they are ready to fast the month of Ramadan. The month of Ramadan. As for the entering of the month of Ramadan, then we know that the Prophet ﷺ عن ابن عمر رضي الله عنه قال رضي الله عنهما قال تراءى الناس الهلال فأخبرت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أني رأيته فصام وأمر الناس بصيامه رواه أبو داود وصححه ابن حبان والحاكم. This authentic narration mentioned by Ibn Umar رضي الله عنهما, may Allah be pleased with him and his father, that the people, they were looking to see the moon. Okay? تراءى الناس الهلال, they were looking to see the moon. فأخبرت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, so I informed the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم أني رأيته, that I saw it, meaning one person. So this we take that one person is sufficient for us to follow, that he, of course there's certain conditions that he has to be a Muslim and fiqh, trustworthy, but that one person is enough, and it doesn't need to be a group of people. From this hadith, that's what the ulama they take. And of course we know that it's not seen through other means except for the naked eye. And there are some people that use astronomy and what have you, but we know that which is in the Sunnah, it's known that if it's a person that witnesses it or a group of people, that's when the people start fasting. That's when the people start fasting. As for the intention, باب أن الصيام لا بد له من النية, meaning the intention, of course, that it is mandatory upon the Muslim that is going to fast, that they make the intention the night before, i.e. before Ramadan has entered. Okay, so if Ramadan is entering on Friday, on the Thursday night you make the intention that you're going to be fasting. What's the proof? وعن حفصة أم المؤمنين رضي الله عنها عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, Hafsa narrated that the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم said, قال من لم يبيت الصيام, okay, من لم يبيت الصيام قبل الفجر فلا صيام له رواه الخمسة. رواه الخمسة, يعني meaning this hadith, that the one that does not fast, that does not go to sleep, making the intention, meaning they go to sleep and they haven't made the intention before Fajr, then there is no fast, i.e. the fasting is not accepted. The fasting is not accepted. So this is a proof to show that it is mandatory upon each and every single one of us before Ramadan comes in on the night to make sure that we make the intention. Also, with regards to this, the ulama, they mentioned, taking this hadith, that وَلِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى وَهَذَا نَوَى صِيَامْ شَهْرٍ وَالتَّتَابِعْ فَلَهُ مَا نَوَى. Meaning that it's sufficient for you to make that intention and the night before Ramadan has entered for the whole month. It doesn't necessitate that you make that intention every single night. It doesn't necessitate that you make the intention every single night. And of course we know, as the ulama they have explained, النية محلها القلب. The intention, its position is the heart. So you don't need to ليس هناك دليل أن لابد الشخص أن يتلفظ بالنية. There's no proof that states that one has to utter it, but rather you make the intention that you're going to fast. And this is sufficient for you for the whole of Ramadan. وَلِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى. As for regarding fasting, of course we know that fasting necessitates that one has to break his fast and one has to have suhoor. So let's get straight into the topic of having iftar. The Prophet ﷺ has encouraged his ummah and his nation to hasten in breaking the fast. And many Muslims, unfortunately, you see that when they hear the adhan or when they're in the masjid, they do other things. Even the sisters as well, and the mothers and those in the kitchen, you see them that it's time to break their fast, but yet they're still trying to finish off making the dish or serve. No, when you hear the adhan, even if you're holding something, get a cup of water or milk or date and break your fast. And then carry on what you're doing. Why? Because it's a sunnah. Why? What's the proof? وعن سهل ابن سعد رضي الله عنهما أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا يزال الناس بخير. Sahal ibn Sa'd said that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the nation or the people are not going to remain upon goodness ما عجلوا الفطر, except if they what's the condition of them remaining upon good? If they hasten in breaking their fast. Muttafaqun alayh. And this hadith is reported in Bukhari and Muslim. So the proof is stating and is showing us that you have to make sure when it's time to break your fast, you hasten to it. You break your fast straight away. وللترمذي, another narration is that which is narrated in Tirmidhi من حديث أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه, from the hadith that is reported by Abu Hurairah رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال, that the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم said قال الله عز وجل أحب عبادي إلي أعجلهم فطرا. And this hadith Qudsi, that Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned that the most beloved servant to me is the one that is the fastest in breaking their fast. Is the fastest in breaking their fast. So from this we take a benefit that if the time has come in to break your fast, don't waste your time in doing anything. Even if you don't have anything, break your fast with a chewing gum or something small. If you've got nothing at all, make the intention and then break your fast with what? With your saliva. And this is something from the Salaf that used to do as well. From the Salaf, they were known to do this if they wanted to hide their good deed. But of course in the month of Ramadan, the Muslims are fasting, everyone is fasting. Make sure you have something. So 5 minutes before the adhan comes in, prepare something to put next to you, something small, or if you're on the journey, or maybe you're out, you're in the car, you're trying to get back home, make sure you break your fast straight away. And this is the sunnah. Another topic that's very important and crucial is that many Muslims forget with regards to fasting, you're not just supposed to fast, that's it. No. But rather you wake up beforehand, you get ready, you try to pray qiyam, and at the same time as well, you have suhoor. You have suhoor. That pre-dawn meal is crucial and it's from the sunnah. And what's the proof? Listen to this hadith. وعن أنس بن مالك رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم تسحروا فإني في السحور بركة متفق عليه. And this authentic narration, which was reported by Anas ibn Malik, the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم said, have suhoor, i.e. the pre-dawn meal, have suhoor, for verily in the suhoor there is a blessing within it. متفق عليه. So this in itself is a proof to show us that we should try our utmost best to have suhoor. Why? Because within it there's a barakah, there's a blessing. And the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. He doesn't utter from his desires, but rather it is a revelation being revealed unto him by Allah Azza wa Jal. So we should try our utmost best to follow him. نَقْتَدِي بِهِ. Okay? We should follow the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and make the intention that you're following him, and that's even if it's difficult. Some people they're not able, they don't have appetite in that early of the morning. But forget whether you have an appetite or not. Try your best to do it because it is the sunnah and you're trying to fulfill and implement the sunnah. And also, it is also for you to know and realize that suhoor is something that is different to that which Ahlul Kitab do. Because of course, we know that many people from the book, i.e. the Christians and the Jews, they fast, but they don't have suhoor. They don't have suhoor. But us as Muslims, we have suhoor. And that is something that we should know, where the Messenger ﷺ said in an authentic narration, which was akhrajahu Muslim, reported in Muslim, فَصْلُ مَا بَيْنَ صِيَامِنَا وَصِيَامِ أَهْلُ الْكِتَابِ أَكْلَةُ السَّحْرِ. Okay, أكلة السحر. So that which differentiates the barrier between us and them, that which differentiates us and them is what? The fasting of the people of the book and us is the eating of suhoor, meaning to have suhoor. Okay, what should one break their fast with? What should you break your fast with? It is known that many Muslims break their fast with rice and heavy meals and what have you. But what did the Messenger ﷺ used to break his fast with? Listen to this hadith. وعن سلمان ابن عامر الضبي رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إذا أفطر أحدكم, if one of you breaks their fast, فليفطر على تمر فإن لم يجد فليفطر على ماء. If one of you is going to break their fast, then they should break their fast upon dates, i.e. eating dates. And if they don't find any, فَلْيَفْطُرْ عَلَى مَاءٍ, then they should break their fast with water. فَإِنَّهُ طَهُورٌ, it is a purification. رواه خمسة وصححه ابن خزيمة وابن حبان والحاكم. So this is a proof in itself that with regards to breaking your fast, you should try your utmost best to break your fast with something of these things that are mentioned in this hadith. Why? Because it is something that the Messenger ﷺ used to do. I.e. break your fast with tamr, with dates. If you can't find any dates, then break your fast with water. And this is the sunnah. You should break your fast. And of course we know, brothers and sisters, a big reminder, and inshallah we'll conclude on this note, that breaking your fast should be done with tamr and water. Why? Because when you break your fast, the intention is that you've uplifted or you've taken away that hunger, that thirst that you've, persevered during the day, and now it's time for you to eat something and break your fast. So therefore, when you break your fast, it should be of something light and not something heavy. Because if you break your fast something heavy, it will take time, and then you will delay Salat al-Maghrib. But rather what it should be, that you break your fast with something light, eat something light, and then from there, you pray Salah on time, in Jama'ah from the men, and then afterwards you come back, and then you could crack on and eat something of that which you like. And we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make these small gatherings, beneficial and of benefit to those that listen. And bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to accept our good deeds and to make it easy for us to put forth good deeds. Subhanak Allahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wa sallallahu sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wa akhir da'wan alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.